I've always locked my door, not out of fear, just a habit. But one night, someone started testing doors in my building. Slowly, carefully. They didn't knock. They didn't break in. They listened. And when I realized why they were listening, I understood one thing. If I had ever forgotten to lock my door, I wouldn't be here to tell the story. I've always been the kind of man who locks the door. Not because I'm afraid. Not because I expect something bad to happen. It's just a habit. You come home. You close the door. You turn the lock. You don't think about it. You don't question it. You just do it. I never imagined that habit would matter this much. I live alone. I've lived alone for years. Not because I hate people. Life just went that way. I'm in my 30s. I work late shifts at a warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Long hours. Repetitive work. Heavy boxes. Too tired to socialize when the shift ends. By the time I get home, it's usually close to midnight. Sometimes later. That's why I chose this apartment. Old building. 6 floors. Concrete walls. Narrow hallways. The paint in the hallway is yellow. It's been repainted many times, but it always looks dirty. The lights flicker at night. They buzz softly when everything else is quiet. This building carries sound. You hear footsteps from far away. You hear doors opening. You hear coughing through walls. At first, it bothered me. Later, it became normal. Comforting, even. Those sounds reminded me that other people were nearby. That I wasn't completely alone. My nights were always the same. I unlock the door. I step inside. I lock it behind me. Always. I eat something quick, usually frozen food. I shower. I sit on the bed and scroll on my phone. Before I sleep, I check the door. Lock it. Pull the handle. Sometimes twice. The first night something felt wrong. I didn't understand it. I woke up at 2:34 a.m. No nightmare. No noise. Just awake. That sudden feeling like someone tapped your shoulder. Like something told your body to wake up. I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, listening. At first, everything was normal. The pipes inside the walls. A car passing outside. Someone upstairs turning in bed. Then I heard it. A soft metallic sound. Not loud. Not sudden. Careful. It took a moment for my brain to understand. A door handle. Not mine. Somewhere in the hallway. I stopped breathing. Not intentionally. It just happened. A few seconds passed. Then it happened again. A slow press. Just enough pressure to test the lock. Whoever was out there wasn't drunk, wasn't confused. They knew exactly what they were doing. Footsteps followed. Slow, heavy, measured. They stopped. Another door, another handle. Press. Pause. Move on. At first I tried to explain it. Someone locked out. Wrong floor. Simple mistake. But the footsteps didn't rush. They didn't stumble. They didn't knock or swear. They were patient. When the footsteps stopped outside my door, my heart started pounding. The handle moved, pressed down. Slowly. It stopped. The lock held. There was a pause. Too long. I didn't move. I barely breathed. Then the footsteps continued. I didn't sleep after that. Morning came, and with it, police cars. 2 of them. Parked outside the building. A man from the 3rd floor didn't show up for work. His employer called for a welfare check. His door was unlocked. Inside, nothing was missing. No struggle, no blood, no forced entry. He was just gone. The second night, I stayed awake. Lights off, sitting on the bed, watching the thin line of light under my door. I checked the time again and again. 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2:20. At 2:21, I heard footsteps. Slower than before, heavier, same pattern. Door, handle. Pause. Some doors opened. I heard the click, creak. Then footsteps inside apartments. No voices, no screams, just silence. In the morning, another neighbor was missing. Different floor, same story. People started whispering, not loudly, quietly. In the stairwell, near the trash bins, outside the building. Someone mentioned an old rumor, something people used to whisper about years ago. They called it the listener. Not a man, not a ghost, not. Something that checked doors. Something that waited. Something that only entered places where it was allowed to. I laughed when I heard that. Urban legends always come back when people are scared. The third night, I didn't laugh. That morning, I saw scratches on my door, right near the handle. Thin, uneven, like fingernails dragged slowly across metal. I stared at them for a long time. Then I wiped them away. That night, the hallway light flickered. The footsteps returned. But this time, they lingered. The things stayed longer at certain doors, as if listening, as if learning. When it reached my door, the light went out. Complete darkness. The handle didn't move. Instead, I heard breathing. Slow. Deep. Right outside. I leaned forward. I looked through the peephole. It stood in the middle of the hallway, standing straight. Too tall. Its posture was wrong, like its body wasn't meant to stay still. The skin looked tight, stretched. Its head was slightly tilted. Listening. One eye moved and looked straight into the peephole. It blinked. Once. The handle moved harder, but the lock held. It exhaled. Satisfied. "I hear you," it whispered. That wasn't the last night. It came back again. And again. Sometimes it tested doors without entering. Sometimes it stayed for minutes. Sometimes I found new scratches in the morning. Sometimes I heard it breathing. Police reports appeared online. Different buildings, different streets, same pattern. Unlocked doors. People living alone. Bodies found days later. Bite marks. Not human. People started locking their doors. Locks clicked every night across the neighborhood. The visits slowed. Then they stopped. I still live here. I still lock my door every night. But sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I swear I hear footsteps in the hallway. Slow, careful, checking, waiting, hoping I forget. I didn't forget, and I hated myself for that. I tried to live like before. I really did. I went to work, lifted boxes, talked to nobody, came home late, ate standing in the kitchen, showered, sat on the bed in the dark. Every night the same thing. Lock the door, pull the handle, stand there, listen. I stopped sleeping normally. Not insomnia. Something else. I would lie down, close my eyes, and my body stayed ready. Like it was waiting for a hit, or a scream, or the sound of metal moving. Some nights I didn't even try. I sat on the floor with my back against the wall, arms resting on my knees, eyes on the door. I'm a grown man. I've been in fights. I've been hurt before. But this was different. This wasn't fear. This was being hunted slowly. A week passed. Nothing happened. No footsteps. No breathing. No scratches. That silence started to crush me, because silence meant it was learning. One morning, After a night without sleep, I noticed something new. The lock felt warm. I froze. I touched it again. Still warm. Metal doesn't stay warm that long. Someone had touched it. Recently. My jaw clenched so hard my teeth hurt. That night, I didn't sit far from the door. I stood close, not touching it, just close enough to hear everything. I kept my weight balanced, like I was ready to move. At 2:48 a.m., the hallway light turned on. No flicker, no buzz, just on. I heard weight shift outside, not footsteps. Someone standing still, breathing, slow, deep. I didn't look through the peephole. I already knew it was there. The handle didn't move. Instead, something else happened. A soft sound. Skin. Dragging slowly across wood. Right where my face would be if I stood closer. It was measuring height. My height. My hands clenched into fists. Every instinct told me to attack, to slam the door open, to fight. That's when I understood the truth. That's what it wanted. It wanted me to open the door. Not because it couldn't come in, but because it wanted permission. The breathing stopped. Then the whisper came. Low. Calm. Male. You're tired. I felt my legs shake, not from fear, from holding myself still. You'll slip, it said. I didn't answer. Didn't move. Minutes passed. Then the pressure lifted. The light went out. Silence returned. The next morning, there were marks on the inside of my door. Not scratches. Finger dents. 5 of them. Right where someone would brace their hand. Like it had tested how hard the wood was. I stayed there for a long time. Just staring. I understood something then. It wasn't killing randomly. It was practicing. Learning doors. Learning people. Learning how long it takes before a man gets tired. Before he makes a mistake. I still live there. I didn't run. Running is loud. And it listens. I lock my door every night. I don't touch the handle anymore. I don't check twice. I check once. Because hesitation sounds like weakness. And sometimes, when I stand there in the dark, I swear I feel it smiling on the other side. Not touching the door, not moving, just standing straight, listening, waiting, for the night I finally slip.